Happy holidays, everybody. Hey, Eli. How you doing? So, hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you're very careful and cautious and have a safe and sane New Year. So, here we are back on Skelton Farms. We're going to talk a little bit about the reason for this map existing, and that is the cancer research and the Duo Foundation, or the Duo, I guess we'll call it the foundation, or the, I guess, charitable trust. This is the reason for this map existence. So Skelton Farm is made by the Mappers Paradise Group, and all the proceeds that they will earn as a result of the downloads in the Mod Hub will go towards this particular charity. So I had the lucky privilege of being on, I guess, the promotion team, or being able to have early access to this particular map in order to show it off. And I know that it's going to come out to consoles and PC, so everyone will have a chance to download it. I encourage everyone to download it, even if you're not going to play it, because Giants will pay for every download, and it will go to this great charity. And cancer is a vicious enemy of the world, and pretty much I would say every family to some degree has been touched by cancer and its problems. So please download the map. Give it a high rating if you feel it deserves a high rating. I'm not going to ask you to personally rate it 5 stars unless you feel it's worth 5 stars. I personally feel it's worth 5 stars. So when I can download it, I'm going to download it, even though I already have a copy. I'm also going to rate it 5 stars. So I encourage everyone to download the map when you can. And when you can download it, please give it a rating for which you feel is fair. That's all I can ask for. So we've done a little bit of work off camera on the map. Fix something here. Game is not taking up the full window. Fix that. Strange. There we go. I think it's better now. Well, you'll see it adjust. Open. All right. So I'm here looking at this great sunset. It is the end of day 2 of mid-spring, and I wanted to show you how wonderful this farm lights up. I was getting ready to save out earlier today when I was doing some off-camera work, and I saw the Christmas tree, saw how the house was all lit up, and the farm, and the wonderful sunset, and I just had to stop it there and show it to you all. So we've done a little bit of work off camera. Hey Eli, hey Tiger, hey Genetic J. So let me show you what we've done off camera. We planted wheat in our last stream. Off camera, I planted barley in field 20, planted canola in field 16, and now we need to plant soybeans in field 3. That's the plan of action for tonight's stream. And you can see that I've also fertilized fields 1, 16, and 20 to their third and final stage. So field 3 is currently at its second stage, and we'll be getting that one up to its third stage after we plant. That is the goal for day 3. I just wanted to show you all this wonderful sunset and the wonderful lighting that we've got here. I'm going to go ahead and skip to dawn. Hey Golden Foxy, hey Fred, hey Cows Go Moo. And we are now in day 3. I've already staged our tractor up here. If you remember, we are playing with more realistic, or not with, yeah, more realistic, as well as seasons. So we need to be real careful on this field, because this field has got a heck of a hill here that we've got to deal with and try to navigate with our little tractor. Dakota, have you got the West Field auger? I don't think so. The only augers I have are the ones that I showed in the how to use the augers video. There's that wonderful cuckoo bird that everyone loves to hear in the stream. We're going to be hearing that quite a bit until we get away from the top of the field here. Hey, Craig. See the map starting to come alive now with various crops being planted by the AI farmers. While we're looking at that, let's take a look at the weather forecast now that we're into day 3. We can see all the way into the first day of winter. We got snow in the forecast for the first day of winter. It's still fairly far off in gameplay, but we've got a little inclination of what we're going to have with respect to winter. Now, of course, since this map is not fully seasons prepared, we'll only have one layer of snow. But still, snow is snow, and it's going to be fun. That is for sure. So another update on the map, as far as some information goes. If you recall back on, over on field 16, we had quite the dip in the hole there, right there at the bottom of the field, where the river comes, or the creek goes. I sent a message to the Mapper's Paradise crew, and they said that they had corrected that and smoothed that out. So when the map does get released, hopefully that will be already corrected. So Cows Go Moo says it's minus 13 Celsius for him right now. That is brutal. When I woke up this morning, it was like 6 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that equates out to Celsius, but that's what I was seeing. Just like we've done with our other fields, we're going to make a couple passes around the field so that we can start making our up and downs without having to hear about, or not having to run into the various hedges. See, quite a problem pulling up this steep hill. We got 23% wheel slip. The tractor's still pulling though. We'll just keep on trugging. Alright. So, Genetic J is helping me out. He's telling me that 6 degrees Fahrenheit is about minus 14 Celsius. Dakota asked, do I know or have a guess when the map will be released? I have no knowledge of an exact date. I did hear over at FSUK, and you can go and check this post out yourself over at fsuk.com. There is a thread for this map, and toward the latter parts of the thread, there was a post that said the map was uploaded to the mod hub back on the 18th. So that's the only information that I have. I have that supposedly the map was uploaded to the mod hub on the 18th. I also know that I read a comment on Simulate's channel where he did a little preview of the map and an account with Mapper's Paradise as the name, so I can only assume that it was the official Mapper's Paradise YouTube channel account, had made a comment that the map was going to come out for console first and then for PC. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that the console version was uploaded on the 18th? I don't know. The only thing I can really advise is only time will tell, and it's soon. Maybe very soon for consoles. It may not be. That's all I know. I don't have a definitive date. They didn't tell me. And tell people that the map will definitely be out on this day and give me a date. So all I can say is it's supposed to be out soon. And supposedly rumor is that it's going to be out for console first. About all I know. Do one more time around, and if we get into early summer, we're going to do some baling. So there's a big grass meadow over here by the farm, between the farm and field 16. We're going to do some grass work, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to bale that into hay or if I'm going to put some of that into the silage bunker. I do plan on buying us some cows. I think initially I wasn't going to do animals, but now I've decided that we might as well use get some cows. So I'm thinking about getting 10 or so cows. I might only get 5 cows. I'm not sure yet. Well, the only thing that's making me hesitant on 10 is that we have 3-day seasons and we've got a fairly limited amount of grass that we can get, and we're going to need to obviously feed our cows fairly regularly. And if we're playing 3-day seasons, we're going to have to feed them a fair amount regularly. So I don't think I want to do a whole huge number. I think I just want to have some in order to have a few to make use of the cow farm. We're going to finish this headland and then we're going to start our up and down passes. We're going to start at the top of the hill and work our way down. That way we're not driving over the field as much. I hear there's a big blast of Arctic weather coming our way, or maybe it's already here. I have to say I haven't followed the Weather Channel for several days, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Just know we woke up this morning, it was cold. Right. Kind of square this off. Work our way. It's going to be hard to send the cold weather your way, Fred, because you're all the way on the other side of the world and upside down. I'd have to say by the time the cold weather got there, it'd probably be hotter than it is now. One could say that I'm taking so much time up here so you all get to hear the cuckoo bird even more. Golden Fox, I don't know, is the we're using more realistic on the series, so I don't know if the Echo Tune is really more realistically set up. That's why we're really using just all base equipment. I didn't really feel like going and downloading a bunch of mods that were made to work with more realistic. And I definitely didn't want to figure out how to make some mods work with more realistic. But that's the only reason. That's the only reason why this particular tractor is struggling at all. Is a more realistic mod has kind of downplayed its grip, downplayed its torque. Once we get to the real steep part, you're going to see that we're going to basically be turning uphill, trying to keep the tractor somewhat straight. You shouldn't have to hear the cuckoo bird much longer. I can barely hear it myself now. Probably gone good enough that we can start turning around. Hey Anthony, how are you doing? Seeing something down there by that tree. I'm gonna need to go check that out here in a minute. A little curious of what that is. Check this out over here. It appears to be a misplaced texture or something. Huh. Some up there too? Four. Right, I have to remember that. Send them a message about some interesting things around the border of Field 4. Hey, Mr. Awesome. How are you doing? I don't know. I don't know if this map has removable hedges. Hey, Rubber Burner. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for the sub, Mr. Awesome. I'll take this time to go ahead and announce that I just published the first video in a new series that I'm going to be putting out, hopefully over the next week or so, that relates to seasons. Kind of a how-to tips and tricks guide. So check out for more information related to that in the channel. I'd probably normally fire up GPS, but with this field having the hill it is, GPS would probably slide down and it wouldn't have really good coverage. Parts of the field I'm really having to counter steer. Let me fix something real quick, guys. Genetic J, you may want to mute your YouTube chat. I just realized I was on push to talk. I've got crop destruction in. We just obviously don't have any crops to destruct. The only four-reel module that I don't have in is ground response. And we had it in initially, but I took it out because basically I was having a problem with the plow and this tractor and ground response in these fields. The plow was wanting to dig in too much, and basically I was having a hard time plowing with that little plow and this little tractor on these hilly fields. So once I took ground response out, the plow didn't sink in as far, and it was a lot better. This map has cuckoo birds, Rubber Burner. Just going to keep making a loop like this until we get that whole upper section seated. Then we'll jump down a section and kind of do the same thing. This might not be super realistic, it just seems more efficient as opposed to stopping and turning around and everything. Oh. About the only part about crop destruction that I don't like is that it knocks grass growth down a stage. And if you drive on grass, it's not all of a sudden shorter. It just smashes down for a little bit and then comes back up. So I'd like crop destruction a lot better if it didn't affect grass so much. Or if maybe it required you to drive over the grass like 6 or 7 times before it did anything.
I agree.
The growth. Instead you drive over it once, it knocks it back, and drive over it again, it stays knocked back. It doesn't knock it back even more, but now there was a tweak. There was a crop destruction that didn't destroy grass. But I think it was like an additional mod that you had to pick. And I don't think it works with the latest crop destruction mod. This field has a heck of a hill. I can only imagine what kind of problems we're going to have with the harvesting on this. Right. This might be the last pass. I have a little stripping. I'll see you later, Dakota. So what types of maps are everybody playing on as of late? Been lots of cool maps come out lately. Oh, so Mr. Austin is playing the valley and the old farm. I'd ask how you're liking the map, but of course, if you're playing the map, you must like it. So it's kind of a fruitless, a pointless question. But I'll go ahead and ask anyway. How do you like the map, Mr. Awesome? How goes Moose playing Estancia and starting on West Coast. Waiting on Oakfield and Skelton and Midtown. Golden Fox, he's been on Slavic Village. That was a map that I wanted to play. I kind of still want to. I was in contact with the map author a little bit after the map came out, asking him if he was going to release a version that had the snow mask in it, and he indicated that he did have plans to release a snow masked version of the map that had a bunch of custom crop textures and whatnot. But I've not seen the map come out. Saw the map show up in the testing thread, but then it never showed up. Still getting the stream, Genetic J.
Yes, sir.
Alright, my preview is spinning, so it's going to refresh that. There we go.
I was listening before you realized you were on push to talk anyway. So.
Yeah,
I
I forget that I have push to talk on when I'm doing live streams and people are in. Let's see, who else? Rob's doing Altenstein. Now that's a map that I look at all these maps in the map videos, and it takes a fair bit of discipline not to want to start playing nearly every single map that I do. Altenstein's a map that I wanted to do. Nice little old map.
I'm still waiting for Midtown and
Autumn Oaks update, yeah. Well, apparently he uploaded it to the mod hub just before they shut down for the season, for the year, so.
I mean, I've got it to play on it because I changed the settings myself. The one thing I wish it had was a little bit of forestry.
Simulator Addicts doing No Creek in Autumn Oaks. Yeah, Mr. Awesome. Genetic J's joining me in my Discord. Genetic J's got an update, or has a fix for Autumn Oaks Cows Go Moo. Is the fix easy enough to tell people how to do it, or is it something that really needs to be written down? Cutting out. You're cutting out on the chat, Mike.
Alright, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Sprint guy.
If you open your i3D in Notepad++, and you search for the grass textures, I think it's the town deco grass is what you want to look for. View distance is set to 1,000 on it, and it should be 80. max then, and that will fix your lag problems.
Alright, so there you go. Cows go moo. If you unzip the map file, open the map ID3 file in Notepad++. It'll look like just an XML file. Do a find for deco grass. Is there an underscore?
I'm not sure. I know it's town deco grass.
Okay.
You'll find that you see the 1,000 view distance on it.
Alright, and then on the line item there will be something that deals with view distance, and it's set to 1,000. Change the 1,000 to 80. Save the file, zip her back up, and the lag should go away. Oh, apparently he's got steps on Facebook on how to fix it. The map author. That's what Simulator Addict says. He followed the steps on Facebook. I don't think West Coast will be too big for single player. It's really how much you want to play the map. If you go crazy and try to play all the fields, then it'll be too big for you. But if you just pick a farm that you want to use and pick, you know, some amount of fields around that farm, you'll be good. Cows Go Moo just watched The Last Jedi last Saturday, and now can't wait for it to hit the video. Fred's playing Mavericks. I saw that earlier, but then got sidetracked. You're into production. Mavericks is the production map. It's got more production than I've seen on any other map. And my good friend Spectre helped me out when I did the map video on that one, because it's got so much going on. He'd been playing the map for weeks at that point and was really able to help me navigate the map and help explain what lots of the industry stuff did. Don't worry, Rob, I won't give you any spoilers. Hopefully no one else in chat will either. There you go. Genetic J put in some nice, useful information for you. Yeah, if you, that's what will happen, Cows Go Moo. If you edit the file in any way, edit the map in any way, the game will think that the version of the map you have is outdated, and it will basically tell you that there's an update available. You'll just have to ignore that and not be overly OCD about the fact that there's an update showing. Because if you do click update, it's just going to download the map and overwrite your changes. Almost got this field done. And it only took about 40 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. Mr. Awesome, I would invite you right now, but I would take a little bit too much time out of the stream to figure out how to get you an invite. I do have a plan at some point in the near future to open up the Discord to be a little bit more public. So at that point, I'll have a link to the Discord channel in all the streams and videos that I do. But at this point, I'm still a Discord newbie, if you will, and it'd take a bit too long out of the stream to figure out how to get you an invite. So like I said, once we get this planted, we're going to need to fertilize it. Now, one thing that I really do like about More Realistic is the usage rate of the seed and fertilizer. See, we have we planted this whole field with this little old seeder, and it wasn't even full when we started. In fact, earlier today I planted field 20 and field 16 with this seeder. It was full when I started field 20, so I planted 3 fields with this seeder without filling it back up. If we were playing without More Realistic, we'd probably have needed to fill this seeder up at least twice since. How are we going to spend the rest of our late spring? I don't know. Right. We basically planted all the fields that we're going to plant for now. As well put this little seeder away. Was for one of these little cubbies. Oh, we can't really go under there with the tractor. It's too tall. One of our tractors was parked up here when the map started. Alright, so let's get up here and fertilize this field. Same with the fertilizer. This was full. And I fertilized field 20, 16, and see how much of this field we can get fertilized. There's our cuckoo bird. So here's a little update on Midtown. Probably going to want to shoot me once I tell you. So, as I've mentioned, I think I mentioned last week, the map was uploaded to FSUK for testing, and it's been in testing. And yesterday morning, I emailed CCS 101 two little things that I discovered in my gameplay. I recently bought some pigs. You won't see that until I think like the second week of January, but either way. Bought some pigs, so started using a pig farm, and I discovered that I was having a hard time feeding the pigs with the feed trough. The trigger seemed to be too far recessed into the trough. And then I found a mystery collision on one of the fields when I was doing some autumn field work. So I emailed him about it, and he had fixed it and told me that the map had actually cleared testing with FSUK and was basically getting ready to be published. But he had asked them to basically delete the version that he had uploaded initially, because he was going to upload another version that had those corrections. So I have to say that you would probably have an opportunity to be playing Midtown right now had I not discovered those two little issues. So it's kind of my reasons. I'm kind of the reason that you can't play Midtown right now, I guess. But what it does mean is those two little issues have been fixed and aren't going to be out there being a problem for others. So look at it either way. Alright, so we're going to need to go get this filled up. I have to say, I want to see Duck Zorley play this map and try to run the Big M down these roads. That ought to be quite comedic. So CCS 101 was speculating that the map might show up as early as today, but it's not out yet. So all I can say is maybe check tomorrow. Might be out tomorrow. We're going to go back up here. We're going to fill up with fertilizer here at the Higbee's Country Feed. See? Fertilizer. Let's get out and let's activate the fertilizer. Comes our pallet of fertilizer. See the trigger markers up, so now we can fill. Filling our fertilizer. Right. And we'll deactivate the trigger. You'll see the trigger marker disappear. And there we go. I have to say, all the animated parts of the map really do make this map extra special. It's like the Bally Moon map from the mod contest. Mapper's Paradise did that map also. It had several unique animations with various things. I mentioned that I was going to zoom out and show you the map from up here on top of this hill last stream. See, from up here you can see all around the map all of the wonderful little fields and little integral details. There you can see the field that we were just in. There's our main farm down there with the creek or river, whatever you want to call it. There's the dock, harbor, BGA's down there. Right, so Midtown will be released over at fsuk.com. CCS 101 is the map author of that map. He's also the map author of Churn Farm. That's the map that I did a 24-day seasons play on. Oh, look at that. I already got canola growing. So this is the big hole that I was talking about that I found. They had said that they had fixed. This whole area has been smoothed out a little bit. All right, see you later, Mr. Awesome. Turn on down here. Rows are going to be hard enough with a harvester. So I think you'll see, if you pay attention to the fertilizer usage as I go up the hill here, you see how quick it ticks down. I think More Realistic has some type of method of calculating yield usage that relates to speed. So you can see when we're going down the hill, we're using fertilizer much faster than we were when we were going up the hill. And if we come to a complete halt, we basically use fertilizer at a much lower rate. So I think that's pretty cool. slower you go, the less fertilizer you use. So who here in chat has the straw harvest add-on stuff? So I've got the straw harvest thing, and I hadn't had a chance really to use it much up until this week. I had used the grapples, the bale grabs, and the square baler with the accumulator on Midtown a little while ago, but I really hadn't had much chance to do anything other than that. Recently I used the pellet press. That was pretty cool. Although I discovered that the yield is a little different. And I assume it's because everything's being compressed into pellets. But like I did I baled a field on Midtown in hay, and I got, I don't know how many bales, a fair number of bales. Later in the year, I had 3 stages of fertilization, and I baled, I used the pellet press, and I got like 180,000 pellets out of the same field. And 180,000 liters of pellets, if you do the math, of 4,000 liter bales was only like 30 or so bales. Well, I had gotten a significantly more bales than 30 bales out of those 2 fields. So I was like, well, probably shouldn't do pellets out of the field because you get a lower yield. So earlier today, I took 5 hay bales and ran them through the pellet press using the bale shredder thing, which was pretty cool. And I got 4.5 pallets of pellets out of that. So that was, in each pallet was 1,300 and so liters of pellets. So that was a rather interesting deal. That 5 bales made 4.5 pallets, but each pallet was only 1,300 liters. There's a significant difference in output there. So I took those pallets to the sell point, and I sold 4 pallets because you can't get the half pallet out of the little wrapping thing. So I was only able to sell 4 pallets, and I got $6,200 for 4 pallets. And that's obviously more money than I could get for 5 hay bales. So it's still a pretty good deal to do the extra processing. It's just not a 1-to-1 ratio as far as liters of bale to liters of pellets. I'm going to take these eggs up here to the cell point. Just cuz. And then we might see what we can do about maybe some missions. Just you know, do some field work on some different fields. Go. Let's look at the map here. Figure out what fields we want to do some missions on. Something down here by the harbor. Let's drive around to field 7 and see what we got going on there. Hey, Top Games, how you doing? Well, thanks for the compliment. Now, I would say that you should go check out the channels in my description. They all have really great content related to Farm Sim 17. Different play styles, different maps. Somebody came through here and knocked over this sign.
Who would use it?
It might have been Eustace. He runs into lots of things. Oops. Yeah, might as well. Let's see. Let's check out field 7. Field 7's got potatoes in it. Oh, let's do a little slurry spreading. Take long. It's an interesting spawn point for equipment. We need to get this darn weight out of the way. I gotta wonder if this little hurleman is going to be able to pull this thing with more realistic. Might have ourselves a mission fail. Top Games, do you play on PC or console? Oh, look, we got a tree right here at the edge of the field. That's pretty cool. A little bit of wild grass and wildflowers growing into the field. That's pretty cool. Got the harbor back there behind us. Guess we should be careful that we don't squirt raw sewage into the river. Oh, we can barely go up the hill. Oh, obviously, we're going to need to make sideways runs. Well, we know what field to go to in autumn when we need some extra cash. Potato harvest will definitely play good, once we have time to do it. Heck of a dip in this field. Oh no, we might run out of time. This little darn tractor can't drive quick enough. Quick, get over there and get those spots. There we go. Oh, we got a whopping $800 from all that effort. Oh, now we could plow it. Now we're plow. Plow anymore. That doesn't have potatoes in it. Had potatoes in it. We're here to check out field 6. Always park your tractor in the shade. No reason to heat things up. Oh, whoops. What's we got? There we go. Try that combination. Do any better. Now this field's got a little bit of a hill on it, it looks like. So we're really doing missions for two reasons. One, we need to earn a little extra cash. Two, gives us an opportunity to kind of explore the map a little more. See some more of the map that we typically wouldn't see that much of. Or see what we would normally see, but from a different... Oh, look at this. We got big old trees or big old bushes or something growing into the field there. It's pretty neat. There's the harbor and the harbor cell point. Alright, where I need to go. We can't go up the hill. We'll never get done this thing. We're going to kind of do what we did with the planting. Crossed. Ah, the wonderful Keurig. We've got one at the house here because the wife drinks coffee, but I don't. So it never made much sense to have a coffee pot, since she really only drinks like 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Very rarely does she have more coffee after that, at least at home. At work, I think she drinks some more, but at home, it's usually just 1 cup a day. Really didn't make much sense to be having this 12-cup coffee pot and only ever putting a little bit of water in it and a little bit of grains or whatever you call them. Keurig is wonderful because you just drop the little cup in there, make a cup at a time, and that's all we really need here at the house. My parents have one, and they drink coffee like it's water. Seems a bit expensive for their drinking habits, because they'll go through like 4 or 5 of those little pod things a day, if not more than that. Now I'm kind of all over the field, but with this little tractor, more realistic, you can't really, you got to be careful about going up the hills or you'll just take too much time. Yeah, we use it to make hot chocolate. We just put the, we don't put a pot in, we just use it to heat the water up. Then we just put the hot chocolate in the water, in the cup, put it under it, and just tell it to make a hot cup. I guess they also make hot chocolate pods and tea pods. But our oldest daughter, she likes hot tea, so she'll just put a cup in it, or put a cup under it, make a cup of hot water with it, because it heats up so quick. Then she'll just dunk a tea bag in the water. Run out of time on this one too. That will definitely make you excited. It can definitely be cheaper at that rate. I think if you do the cost on like you know, the bulk coffee, it's not cheaper, but definitely for like Starbucks it would be. Canterbury, there isn't a release date that I know of for the map. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, but basically, from what I understand, from what I read on the FSUK forum post, the map was uploaded to the Giants mod hub on the 18th. But then I also understand that it's going to come out for console first. So I don't really know when it's going to be released or what it's looking like. Alright. A little bit of money there. I want to go look for this monument that I know that's been put in the map. It's a monument to, I guess, commemorate cancer victims. And it's supposed to be in the map somewhere. And I didn't find it when I was doing a map tour. I'm a little curious where it is, and I think it might be... It might be up here. Let's go out and see. It's kind of this path up here. I think the monument itself is kind of up on an overlook. Let's see if I can't find it up here. If not, we're going to at least have a heck of a view. There it is. That's it. It's up here. Sweet. This is what I was looking for. Let me see if I can find a little bit of information about that real quick. While we're doing that, we'll just stand here and overlook the map. The harbor, there's all the fields. Let me go look something up real fast. Give me 4 minutes. All right, here we are. Pull this on something that you all can see. Oh, and of course it wants to update. Let me... Alright, so here is the FSUK topic for the map. And we are the charity duo. This is kind of the title slide, charity map, Skelton, Shire weather. All right. So here's what's been donated. So several of these house models have been donated by RW Modding. Here it is. It's the Mary Bourne Monument, donated by Robbie. Let's look up the Mary Bourne Monument. Understand that a little bit. There we go. That's it. It's the monument. Well, anyway, y'all can look that up later. The walls, donated by Dorset. What's going on here? There's kind of a model picture of the model. There it is, I guess, in real life. And now let's transition back to the game. And here it is in game. So it's pretty cool. Glad I found that. I was wanting to find that earlier, and I forgot all about it. You gotta come up here and you gotta kind of walk up this path, walk up all this hilly area. Not really sure why the background trees are black. That'll get fixed in the final release. Well, that's the good thing, Cows Go Moo, is that there's so many different ways to play. You could try to play realistic, or you could play arcadey, as they say, or you could play some interesting combination of the two. I like to say that I play kind of a combination of the two. That's why I kind of called this series realistic-ish. I wasn't going to hold myself to play super real. Let's go up in here. I haven't been up in this area. It's like a kind of a little forestry area. Some more of those floating thingies we saw earlier. That's a interesting field. I don't think we want to do a mission on that one. That one's just too big. I might try a little mission on this one. Here's the back entrance to our farm. More of that. 700 there. Should have picked that one. Oh yeah, we're only gonna get $700 out of this one. Do y'all know about that little trick where you can just kind of exit and go back in and get different equipment? is what we should have had on those other fields. Oh, you're still struggling. Hey Kyle, how are you doing? We need to be careful. We don't want to roll this like we rolled the whatever we were doing the first day. That was quite a remembering experience. Yeah, depending on the field, sometimes the selection can be very, very limited. You seem to get a much better variety the smaller the field. Oh, I'm doing good, Kyle. I just had to take a little drink. Once again, we get the first half of the mission done fairly quick, but then the other half just seems to take the whole rest of the time. Field there, field 4, he's awful weird shaped. Let's see what the forecast has. We got let's go see what kind of equipment we've got to work with. As far as grass work goes. So here we've got a tedder, windrow, mowers, baler, A baler on this map? We got a pickup wagon. Alright, I don't think we have a baler. Oh, let's check here. Oh, no baler. Alright, well. Stuck on something? Thinking about mowing this. I don't know if I want to bale it into hay bales or put it in this bunker for a little silage action. If I bale it, I'd probably put the bales in here. Store them away. Or I'd put them over here. If we get cows, we're going to need could feed them hay and grass just for a little bit until we have straw. I think we'll just make hay bales. We're going to need it's a kitty cat. Gonna need a baler. Horsepower, 80 horsepower. Well, this gives me a chance to use this. Let's lease this thing up. We don't need to we're gonna oh, let's go ahead and buy it. All right. So let's go ahead. Do a little grass work for the next 30 or so minutes. I'm hoping I've got enough horsepower to run these two. Okay. Guess we'll find out. Find out soon enough. It looks like we can... Oh, it looks like we can mow this. So more realistic, if you didn't know, lets you kind of mow at a faster speed than normal. If you have the horsepower to mow, you can mow at a little greater clip than the normal mowers will let you do in game. But of course, if you're going uphill or you don't have the horsepower, you're not going to be mowing as quick. While we were really struggling going up this hill, while at the same time we were going really quick down the hill on the other side. We're going to start making east-west runs here in a minute. No, that was a different, it might have been a frog, it might have been something else. We definitely have frogs down by the river. This tractor definitely bogs down once you start going up any type of an incline with the mower. But we'll make up for it on the other direction. I am kind of curious what kind of yield we're going to get off this grass. Seems that it's fairly low as far as what we're looking at on the ground. Initially, I wasn't gonna do any of this until tomorrow, or game day, the first day of summer. But we'll just need to find something else to do. Tell you, when the mower gets going, kind of catch you off guard a little bit. Get used to it moving at a speed like this, and then all of a sudden it's going almost 3 times faster. Alright, this is almost done. And there was a little bit of grass here that we missed. Got this section here. Alrighty. There. That's a lot quieter. Let's just rip off our mower. Alright, so this shouldn't take long. Oh. Unless we run into stuff. Well, thankfully this is not affected by the hill. Oh, she's not. I don't really know. She drinks some donut something. She buys it. I end up making it. It's donut something. Donut house. Donut shop. She likes it with a little shot of creamer or sweetener in it. Usually we get the generic house brand French vanilla or something sweetener. I think she likes a milder coffee. I don't know. I don't drink this stuff. Well, Rob, we won't have it too much more. Once I get kind of away from the river there. I think they're frogs. But there are lots of ambient sounds on the map. A couple different birds, some frogs. Kind of want to use that baler in this stream. I don't want to carry it over until next stream, so we go longer than 2 hours just in order to get to the baler, and that's just what we're going to do. I can tell you, if we weren't using MR, I would use that that rake that Ted's and rakes at the same time. When it's over American Eagles modding, but alas, we're using VR, and in the, or not VR, but MR, and in the full spirit of MR, I'm going to try to use in-game equipment so that it's all MR recognized. The round baler I got is part of the straw harvest pack. So the straw harvest includes a whole lot of crone equipment, and the round baler I bought is the round baler in the straw harvest pack that you can buy with either manually refilling the netting or automatic, meaning you don't have to buy the netting. The automatic option is a lot more expensive, so it's cheaper to get the manual netting and just have to buy the netting pallets. And we'll do that. I think I mixed a little section of grass up here. Yeah, Jason, that was my thoughts. I like to, I try to keep things fresh. So all the different maps that I play, I try to use different stuff. Sure, I've got my favorite stuff that kind of makes its way from one map to the next, but in general, I try to play each map a little bit different than the previous map. One, to kind of keep things fresh, because if you just churn on different maps and do the same thing all the time, you get a little bored, I think. But two, it's kind of the personal challenge. Yeah, the straw harvest has a lot to offer, depending on your gameplay. You know, initially I liked it for just the bale handling stuff. The bale grapples and stuff looked really cool, and the bale accumulator for the square baler. I wasn't so much into the pellet thing or the palletizing factory or stuff like that. But then I found a use to add the pellet stuff into gameplay. And then I added the pellet stuff just to add a little variety and, you know, a little bit of mix into it. Find an alternate way of earning some income as opposed to the normal, you know, placeable stuff. Right. Yeah, once we're done here, I'll show you in the store, Cows Go Moo, what's all there. But I agree, it's not for everybody, and you know, the price point is definitely something to consider. It is German, so depending on the exchange rate, it could be cheaper or more expensive for you, depending on when you look at it. Right. Just this section down here. All right. Next step, the windrow. I might as well put this back. This is where it showed up. This is where it was in game when you get it. Good a place as any, right? Alright, so let's look at placeables. So with the straw harvest deal, you have the pellet haul, $400,000. So this is where you can palletize the pellets. That's all it does. You have the pallet sell point. This is for selling your pallet pallets. Okay. Now we have over here under, just the rest is under baling. You have the horizontal grapple that takes 3 side-by-side bales, and you can use this with a front loader or a telehandler or wheel loader. And you basically come up to a field, you hook these down, they rotate down, grab your bales, you pick them up, you take them over to a trailer, and you release them, and there you go. Then you have this one, which does, which folds up. I think it does. It does more. How many it does? I guess it does 5, since it has 5 versus 3. You have the vertical bale grab, which can grab 3 or 4 if you do it just right. And all of these are front loader, telehandler, or wheel loaders. Then you have the Primos 5000. This is what I call the pellet press. You could call it a pellet baler, if you will. Basically, it picks up windrowed grass or windrowed straw or hay. You have to add water and molasses to this, and then you get little pellets that come up, they accumulate in the back basket. Now here's a conveyor that attaches to this thing, and you can put a bale on here, and it slowly rolls into this. It shreds it, and then it runs through here and makes your pellets. That's pretty cool. You use these two things in the pellet hall to make your pellets, or you can bring pre-pelletized pellets into the pellet hall and dump into a bin, and then it will make its stuff. Get this little round baler that you have to have little netting for, and you get this big square baler where you have to have twine, and then you have the bale collector which goes with square baler. Then you have your molasses pallet, you have your netting pallet, and your twine pallet. All part of that pack. And you can see here under the animals, you can feed hay pellets to sheep, interesting enough, pigs, and cows as food. So there is a use for hay pellets beyond the pellet hall. Alright, let's get this windrowed so we can get to baling. Can we get in between here? Whoa, we didn't have water there before, did we? We seriously have water there and I not even notice it when I mowed it? Or did that water rise? Bro, we got rain coming too. We need to hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up. I knew that the rain was pending, but it was just pending. It wasn't, you know, the thing that was in the weather. It was sunny and then it showed a little rain cloud next to it. Now the sun's gone and now the rain cloud's there, so that's the next bit of weather we're going to have is rain. Could come at 3 o'clock or it might show up at 6 o'clock. Six o'clock would be a lot nicer for me because I'm pretty sure I'd have most of these bales at least baled by then. I think we'll have them picked up by then, but I think if you're if you look at the seasons menu and it says you can't harvest after the last day of autumn, if you don't have it, yeah, it will wither first day of winter. I know the Midwest Geo, I think you can actually harvest some crops into the first day of winter, or the first stage of winter. But I don't know which crops they are, and I don't know if that's... Might be you can plant into the first parts of winter. That tree completely messed me up. Couldn't see what I was doing. So you're saying the water levels rised? Is that what you're basically saying, cows go moo? The water level's up? That it came up to the wall but not past it, and now it's past the wall and into the grass? Alright. Almost done the windrowing. Or as Glance calls it, swathing. Alright. Yeah, we call it raking when I was growing up. We had that New Holland bar rake. It's over at American Eagles Modding that we used. I don't know if they even had these round things.
We always used one that was like the bike that made the paint bomb.
Like the little hay bob or the V looking thing?
The little one with two baskets.
Oh, okay.
It was similar to that, but it was a tedder rake. It fluffed it up and pulled it to the middle. So left it in.
All right, let's get our baler. Let's run into the wall. Do all kinds of fun things. Now the fun thing, trying to figure out how to put netting in this thing. Back up in here to town. And the store is the first road on the right. There's our baler. There's our pallet of netting. All right. So we want to open the baler door. Let's hit refill and see what happens. Oh. We can close the net box. And there we go. So you can see down in the HUD we have netting for 165 bales. This thing will make different size bales. 1.3, 1.4, 1.8, 1.1, 1.3, 1.5, 0.8. See how many bales we can make. We might as well make one of each. Z. Change the binding on that. So we have the auto bale unload mod in, and it uses the same key binding as the open the door. Rather inconvenient there. Alright. So this thing's got lots of animations going on. We got spinny little things at the bottom. We got an auger. We got spinny things underneath. Then we got the rollers. We're making what, 1.2, 1.1 size bale. Well, aren't you little cute? It's a cute little bale. Alright, let's change. Or what was the key to change it again? Anybody remember what the key was to change the baler? Yeah, I don't know if anybody could rewind and see what that key binding was. It's not showing up in the F1 menu now. Oh, there it is. Oh. Alright. Let's see what 1.3 does. One 1.1 was what, 1,600 liters? I'm not a fan of round bales either, but I don't have a tractor that could pull the square baler. I feel like 1.3 is, it's over 2,000. $2,200 is 1.3. Okay. I'll do 1.55. It's interesting on this baler, the alarm goes on and then it stops as you get close to your full. One. $31.50. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than what we're used to. This should be the 1.8, which I'm guessing is the normal 4,000 liter size. Oh, now we got it set for 1.8. I guess you can't change it if it has something in the chamber. Now we're at 96 bales on the netting. The thing I want to see is if the bigger bales use more netting than the smaller bales. They should. Otherwise, you're kind of at a penalty for making small bales because you get more bales for the same amount of hay, but you have to go through the netting more, even though the bales were smaller. Oh no, more than 4,000. $4,200. See, now this is 95. If they use the same amount of netting per bale, then you are penalized for making smaller bales because you would obviously have more bales per field. Therefore, you go through the netting faster. Oh, that won't fit there. So we'll stick it in here. And then on Saturday when we'll stream this map again, we'll pick up the bales and put them in that little building there, that little door. That'll kind of be our bale storage shed now. I think we got bale forks somewhere. If not, we'll go pick some up. Alright, let's just see. We have bale forks. No. Don't. And we'll get a set of these. And we're going to have them reset. Just because I don't feel like. Definitely not with the skid steer. They are. Alright, so that's going to do us for today. Thanks for coming out and watching on Skelton Farms. We'll be back here on Saturday night. And we'll be picking up these bales and seeing if we can't get these bales picked up before the rain comes. Full bales. 1,600 liters. It's a bigger one here. 3,150. And the biggest of all, 4,200. And then what's this one? This one's... got another one somewhere. $2,200. These are custom bales. They have a completely different look to them than normal bales. Alright. So until next time, guys. Happy farming.